Oh, I'm gonna mute myself.
And then I'm going to share my screen. So welcome everybody to our, let's see, desktop. Is this the right one? No. Yeah, this one. Okay, let me know if you guys can see this. Yeah. So we are on February 12th. Very, very exciting. The month is going quick. Didn't it seem like it kind of was going really, the first week I felt like it went really slow. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh crap, we're halfway through the month because it's a short month, you know what I mean? So the 12th is really like the halfway point. So we definitely want to recognize where everybody's at in Success Club. Abby is killing it. And Abby, just let me tell you guys real quick, she is out with family. They had family over unexpectedly. So she will not be on tonight. But she's killing it at 12. Katie is right on her heels at 6. Rachel, friggin' amazing. You're halfway there.
At 9.
Victoria. Well, we go by whatever's in showing in back office. And as of whatever's in back office is what I go by. So that's what I report when she does this. So if you guys have points that are like lagging, you know, when you do an all access challenge pack, you don't get the extra point until the next week. So it just depends on what time of the week it comes in, but your Success Club points will update. So just keep that in mind. And then Angela at 2 and Victoria at 3. You guys are all so close. One more all access pass and you guys hit Success Club. So it's really rad because if in the first 3 months that you sign up as a coach, if you hit Success Club, like Rachel did, the first month you get a call with Carl Deichler, which is rad. And then in the 3rd month, you earn your ticket to Summit, which is really cool. So, and then Abby, again, killing it with the PV points at 874. That's huge. The benchmark to set for yourself should be 500. I'm like nowhere even near you guys. So I'm at Success Club 0 personally, and my volume is like pretty low. So just got to keep working on that. Announcement, obviously we're still in Team Cup, and you know everyone on here is on a team, so I know we're all pushing and everybody's doing really well. I posted tonight personally what I'm doing today to push like tonight. I'm gonna slam stuff out tonight, and then I would recommend everybody do a call to action tonight for a challenge group or a coaching opportunity or something like that. Sunday night is a really good night to do that. And then the business mastermind group starts tomorrow. So that was also posted in the Team Cup page because you guys are our runners there. So if you didn't fill out the application, make sure you do that, but we start that tomorrow. And you know, it might seem like the parameters that we set are really like stringent or hard or tough, but I just want to let you guys know that we're pushing you for this because when you hit Diamond and we can put you in that group with Melanie and all the top coaches and Bonnie Engel, they have stringent rules as well, and they will kick us out if we don't meet or exceed the goals that they've set every month. So we're really just kind of setting those goals up to set you guys up to succeed in the smaller group. So when you get into a larger group with the top 10 coaches and, you know, top coaches of the company, it's a small group in there, you guys. Like, you know, all of these top coaches that are in there, there are only 250 people in that group. So it's really tight knit. I mean, you have the top coaches in there giving us all kinds of stuff. So it's really something that we want you guys to be in as well, so that you can benefit from, because really your business, I mean, will just, it's crazy the things that we're getting out of it. And then the all access pass it says, I just read it again tonight. If you guys haven't gone in the announcements in back office, it says in the announcements that this is the last month for the all access challenge pack. So, you know, who knows if they're going to change that, but as of right now, it says, like big bold letters in the announcements in back office, it says, you know, remember this is the last month for the all access challenge pack. So just keep that in mind when you're talking to people, letting them know that it's such a great deal, and it's such a great deal to get all of this for an entire year at such a great price. The online office, that's the next one. Go check the online office announcements because that's where you'll find stuff like that. And then National Wake Up Call tomorrow is going to be really, really important especially for a lot of you new coaches, but for us coaches, even myself, I'm super excited for it to see what newer coaches have done, God bless you, to get success so quickly. in such a short amount of time, how they're getting to Diamond and 1-star. Because I know we can tell you guys what we did. Abby and I both hit Diamond in 4 months because we pushed and we're really competitive, and I won't give up on something like that. But then we've also been stuck at Diamond for a year. You know what I mean? So what if we don't want you guys to follow that pattern? We want you guys to push and then see what they're doing. Maybe that's different, because we can tell you what we've done, but maybe if you hear it from someone else, or kind of if they're doing things different than we are, you guys can learn and take that and apply it to your own business. And then just a reminder of the calendar, if you're, looking at what we're doing, this is kind of the guide that we're going by, and, what we're promoting each week. So you'll always want to make sure that you have some sort of calendar or guide to follow. You never want to wing it, because winging it, trust me, take it from me, winging it doesn't always work. And even if you just have loose guidelines for your month and just knowing what you're going to post each week or talk about each week really will set you up to have better success than just throwing posts out and just saying nothing, or just doing personal posts and not really doing any call to action. At least you know what you're aiming for. So you don't necessarily have to, your challenge group doesn't have to start on the 20th. You can start, like I know Victoria said she's starting on the 27th or whatever. So, choose whatever dates you want, but just make sure you have some sort of guidelines or parameters for yourself. And this is such a good quote. The bad news is that time flies. The good news is that you're the pilot. It's this being a short month and being a pusher month, because it's Team Cup and because it's February and it's such a short month and it's the beginning of the year. Yes, time is going by quickly, but the good news is that we have control over actions that can make the time that's going to pass anyways be really successful in that, so we have to take ownership of the time that we have and not just be like, oh, it's another month, or oh no, I screwed up I slept off a whole nother week or whatever. Like, we have there are controllables that we can control. And so make sure that you're using those to your advantage. So when I get into this, we're going to go into, I'm going to give you guys, get a scratch paper. If you have not done this before, I know Katie's the only person on this call that has done this. Get a piece of paper and make sure it's bigger, like a regular size piece of paper. It could be lined, it could be whatever. You're going to draw on it. You need a pen and a paper. And with this quote and saying what you're going to do with your time and how to spend it wisely, I know so many of us struggle with time management. I think it's just, we are women and we want to do everything, and we feel like there's never enough time, and trying to manage another business, something that's very important to us, because everyone that's on this call, I know that this business is so important to you. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. And I know it's hard to fit it in. I've been on both sides of the token. I've been doing this as working a full-time job, commuting 3 hours a day with 2 kids and a husband and a dog and a daughter in college. I've run that whole thing and still built my business. And that's actually when I built my business to Diamond, was when I was doing that. After, when I came home, I've struggled with that in time management, in, being home and having a different schedule and trying to fit this in and still make it successful and still, manage my time where I'm taking care of my family, taking care of the house, and still running my business to where it's growing. So I understand when you guys say that it feels very overwhelming, because I've been on both sides of the token. And it's just truly, I felt like I understood what I was doing with my time a lot more when I finally implemented this block schedule. And I did that back in, I think it was September, maybe after Abby came back from her retreat, when she went on the Diamond retreat with Melanie. They did this same call in here. She learned this block schedule, but at the same time, my corporate mentor taught it to me as well. And it's amazing, because anybody here, I just want to see a show of hands and see if anybody here can actually tell me if I asked you right now how much time you spend on your business every day. Tell me how much time. Not guessing. I want to know, do you know how many hours a day you spend on your business personally?
I do probably an hour.
Okay. Rachel, Katie, Victoria, anybody? No.
Okay.
Rachel?
Hold on. Where am I?
You're unmuted. You can talk.
I am?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So some day I would say probably an hour, but some days if I can, I'll spend the other day I spent 3 or 4 hours on it, but I only do that once a week.
Yeah.
How do I re-mute myself because my baby's so loud.
I'll
I don't
mute
know
you. Victoria, do you know?
Kind of the same thing that Rachel was saying. Like, it really depends on the day since I freelance, so I work different hours each day.
Okay.
So,
Meg, do you know how much time you spend on your business a day?
I probably spend a little bit over an hour, but other than my power hour, I don't keep track because I do so many like little chunks throughout the day. Like I try to do a post when I get to work before I get out of my truck, and then like on my first break, and then I'm usually messaging people on my lunch. So it's just kind of like I sit down and try to get like a good solid power hour in, but then the rest is like really sporadic.
Okay. And Angela.
I just try to get my list done each day, kind
Yeah.
of the stuff. And so it depends. The time varies, I guess. Depends. Kind of, I do it throughout the day as well. Like I have like a certain time in the day where I do a post, and I have a certain time where I do add friends, and then I have a certain time where I do, it's like pockets of time.
Right. Which is good. It's good because it's going to work different for everybody. But I truly never knew, because I worked the same as you guys. Like, oh, I do a little bit here and I do a little bit there and I do a little bit there. And you can feel like you're doing all this work and you're spending all day working your business and you're not really making progress. And that's how it can feel. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're not making progress, but it can feel like that. Like, oh my gosh, like, how much time did I spend on my business today? That was for me. I couldn't pinpoint it. I could say like maybe 2 or 3 hours and you really want to know this when you're talking to potential coaches. If you're going to start recruiting coaches and building your business, someone's going to want to know how much time do you spend on your business every day and what does that look like? And if you can't paint a clear picture for someone, that's not going to be very like enticing or promising or look like a very good opportunity for them, right? Like if you don't really know yourself, how can you give that opportunity to someone else to allow them to like fit it into their schedule? So when I did this, I was like blown away because you can literally put everything, we're going to put into blocks, and you're going to see exactly how much time you're spending on your business a day. And if you follow it, that's exactly how much time you'll spend a day. If you don't, that's up to you and you can spend more or less time on it. But you determine this, you are the pilot of this, and you can make it like really, really simplified. And I tell you guys, when I did this and when I follow it, it is very relieving to me. It's like a weight lifted off of my shoulders. Like I only allotted this time for these things. Nothing else matters. If they get done in this time, that's great. If they don't, they don't. And that's it. I move on. And that's it. It's very freeing. It's very liberating. You don't have to worry about things. And you put yourself in this block of time for certain tasks, and you're under the guns. You're kind of putting yourself on a tighter schedule, and it makes you get things done faster. So I'm gonna show you guys our examples of like what Abby's block schedule looks like and what my block schedule looks like. And if you guys have questions, just like raise your hand or unmute yourself. Like don't feel like you can't ask or talk. So Abby's schedule, you'll see the different colors. We both do it in Google Calendar, and that's how we've been taught to do it. And I recommend doing it in Google Calendar because you can sync it to your phone. You can download the app to your phone. It's really easy to see, and then you'll get the reminders and you'll kind of know. I personally like to print this out because visually I like to see it. If you're a checkbox person, you can check things off as you've done them. And so you've marked off your squares. But I'll show you how to do it after, but this is what Abby's looks like. Okay. So she has a big chunk of time blocked off from like 8:30 to 6. It says work at George Fox in the morning, personal time for working out, devotions, and PD. She does a bigger chunk, right? So from 5:30 to 7, she has personal time, workout, devotions, PD. Then from 7 to 8:30 is family time, prep for work. She's basically getting ready for work, getting her family ready for work. From 8:30 to 6 is work, right? That's her whole work day. And then from 6 to 8, I think it says, or 6 to 9 is family time. She has that blocked out. And from 9 to 11, she works, right? So that's basically her schedule. The team call is over here, and you're going to color everything differently. You're going to label everything something. You're going to color everything something. So that's Abby's, right? Now that's her week. So here's my week. It's the same thing. It just looks a little different because hers she chopped it, a little different. But I broke mine down even smaller, like into smaller, same colors, same blocks. But I was a little more detailed in it so that because I need to be told, like, do this next. Like For me, I need to have these smaller tasks. Abby is good at lists herself. She's very self-driven and she knows what she needs to do in those amounts of time. I need to be told specifically, you need to do this at this time, this at this time, this and this time. So I break it down even smaller. So me is wake up at 5 and get coffee. So that's 5 to 5:15. From 5:15 to 5 Mondays, and I also did my schedule. It's not exactly the same every day because Monday is different. My husband's not home. So Monday night, I have a slightly different schedule. It varies. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday are the same, but Thursday is different because I have a Bible study that I go to, and that's personal time. So my work time, my house cleaning time, like all that kind of varies a little bit. But generally, it's the same things every day. I've just rearranged them so that they fit better in my day. But I'm also just doing those exact things. So from, I do a little bit of work in the morning. On Mondays, let's do a general day. On Tuesday, I wake up, I drink my coffee, and then at 5:15, from 5:15 to 5:45, I do a small chunk of my power hour, right? So, and I have in there exactly what my tasks are. And I can tell you guys what I do in that little small amount of time. And then I get shower and I get dressed. And then that whole time that's blank in there, you don't have to fill it doesn't have to be something blocked out, how Abby's had the entire day blocked like that. It doesn't need to look like that. And that's what my corporate sponsor, for me, I like to know, I have this free time right here. If I need to plug something else in there, that's free time that I can plug in these little white pockets to me. So that's something that's not taken up, and I have that time. So this time where it says shower and dressed, all that blank space is before we get ready to go to school. From 7:30 to 8:30 is drop off time for me. And that's when we're en route to school and I drop them back off. I'm home by 9. And from 9 to 9:30, I think it says, is personal development. And then I have that might lag over a little bit depending on how, oh no, I'm sorry, that's 8:30. That's on my way home. 8:30 to 9 is personal development. I do that on my way home, and then I have a little bit of time, and then I get home. And so 9:15, I can't even see what time that says, is my Bible study and prayer time. And then from 11 to 1, I'm cleaning the house every day. And then, or 11 to 12, 10 to 12. I can't see, it's so tiny. And then after that is personal work, right? So I'm going to show you guys how to block these out, but basically you can see the gist of how you need to be. For me, it's very specific, but I promise you guys. So now I can look and see how many hours a day I'm actually working on my personal work for my business. And that's everything that's in the reddish pink color. So work personal, actually work team is green too. So that's 9:30 to 11. That's 1 hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. That's another hour and a half. That's what is that? 2.5, 3.5 hours. It's about 4 hours, depending. That's not even. That's 30 minutes. So I would say maybe 3 to 4 hours a day. If I can't even see the times, but if I put it all together, I'm doing 3 to 4 hours a day. It's split up in blocks and chunks, but and so then if you go to Abby's and look, she's doing 9 to 11. So she has 2 hours a day, and that's what she does. She works from 9 to 11, and that's all she has to do. She does do her one post in the morning after she works out, but she doesn't count that as work. This is actually sit down time to work. I don't count any of my posting stuff in there. This is actually time that I'm sitting out, blocking the time out to work, to send messages, to add friends, to do those task list things are in these blocks, if that makes sense. So we're going to go through, if you guys are ready, and we're going to make your buckets, and we're going to make your calendars. Okay, so I really want you guys to do this, and I want you guys to start implementing it this week, because this is part 1. And next week on our meeting, on our call, we're going to get into it a little deeper and into those buckets and your task list and how to get rid of some stuff to even free up your buckets a little bit more. And just other time management tips next week. So this week we're going to draw out our buckets. So what I want you guys to do, and I think I left my thing downstairs, but on your paper, I want you to take, can you guys see me? I'm going to redo the screen share. How do I stop sharing? Stop share. Okay, so take your paper. And if it's too bright, tell me, I'll scoot back. But I want you to draw 5 buckets. So 5 boxes, whatever. 5 buckets, so draw 5. You guys see that? It's dark. Let me see if I can turn away from the thing. So just draw 5. Draw 5 little squares. You can make them look like buckets. I'm gonna run and see if I can find the original one that I did. And then for each one of them, while I run to go get this, I want you to think of the 5 most important. One of them will be your business, Beachbody business, right? So one of them for sure will be that, because that's your business. The rest of it, pick 4 other things that are important to you. So like not everybody has, for me, I specifically in my time, like I need my personal time. You know what I mean? Things that are for me only. It's not part of my kids. It's not part of my husband. It's not cleaning the house or anything like that. I also need house time for me, right? One of my buckets was like house time. Like I need specific time to clean my house. So pick 4 other buckets that are important to you, that no matter what, you have to do every single day. And then I'll be right back. Okay, so here is my original one that I did. This might be a little bright right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay, but I'll see how I made like buckets. Now I did this specifically when I was doing this with my corporate mentor. So she taught it to me and I made my little bucket. So my first bucket, I put family. I need family time and it needs to be completely separate from everything else. Okay, my second one was my BB, I put BB personal. So it's my personal Beachbody business. Now mine is going to be separate. And if you have a growing team under you, like Katie does, you might need to separate your personal Beachbody business from and this will evolve as your teams grow. But I have a separate bucket for my team, my Beachbody team, right? So I have personal, I have team, but you guys, a lot of you are near coaches. Whew, sorry, I ran up and down the stairs. Good Lord. And then I have a separate bucket for house because I need specific time to clean my house. So a separate bucket for my personal, my Beachbody team, and my separate bucket for me / personal time, right? So I'm going to tell you guys what I put in each of those so that you can understand how I'm bucketing them out. And then I color coded them after that. So in my family bucket, to me, that was most important, right? My family bucket was like number 1 to me because I don't want my business interfering with my family time anymore. Like it can happen, it bleeds into that, and your family can suffer, your kids can suffer, your husband, your relationships, it's just not good. So I put time with my kids. That was something that I needed to put in there. I put Bible study or something like that for myself. Time with my husband, I put that in there, like specific time with him. Like family time at night, something that we're like, even if we're just vegging out watching Netflix for an hour or whatever, that's I block that time out. And I actually put no phone on there, like no phone. I put the phone away. I don't bring it. Like we just veg out and watch Netflix, and the phone's not even a thought, right? And then my personal business, for me, the things that I know I need to do to push my business forward that need to be blocked out. My power hour. So see what I'm saying? Like power hour isn't going to be its own separate thing. It's going to be blocked into this color that's in there. So in my BB personal bucket is my power hour, my invites, which for me is like my Teamsy list. Whatever Teamsy tells me to do, that's in there. Follow-ups, post in all of my groups, all of that stuff, like posting in all of my groups and all that stuff. So that's all blocked into my personal business. Those are things that I need to do to push my business forward. For my house, it was clean, just clean the house, pick a room, do the laundry, and meal prep. Those are certain things that like need to be done on a daily or weekly, like they have to be part of like my week. And so I need to block time out to do that, right? And then my team bucket is separate. So it's like for me checking in with my, the Rising Stars group, like I'm in a diamond group that's like, it's a team thing. It's other, like our team call, this is in my team bucket. You know what I mean? It's not I'll do that, you know, in a separate time than I do my other stuff. So it's team stuff that's like me as building my team, pouring into my coaches, like one-on-one personal calls that I do, stuff like that is like going to be completely separate because that's not going to necessarily push my business forward, but I still need to check in with my coaches and make sure everybody's good. Does that make sense? So I have stuff in there that's completely separate. And then my personal me bucket is my fitness and like my working out and all that, because it's me, you know, it's not part of, it's part of my job, but for me, it's personal time. It's stuff that I need to do on my own. That's like my prayer time, my devotion time. I still consider personal development part of like my self time. Time for writing. I wanted something like that for myself. So, you know, I put that in there and post like stuff that I just knew was going to fill my own bucket up. That's personal. So whether that means, you know, if it was like a spa day or spa time for me, or, you know, once, twice a week or something, I'm going to get my nails done or whatever the heck it is, like that would go into my personal bucket. So then after I wrote all those things in all my 5 buckets, because you only get 5 buckets and you want to write all those things, and you don't want to write a laundry list of things. You pick the things that are going to be done every day, no matter what. You know what I mean? So if that's like, you need to spend time with your spouse, or you need to spend time with your family, or, you know, you need to do certain things at home that you're not doing, that you've been slipping off because you feel like you're overwhelmed with your business and you're spending all your time doing all this or whatever. Because this really helps you, not even just in your business. If you didn't have Beachbody at all, you could apply this to your life, you guys. This is like a life tool that will completely help you with your time management if you use it and implement it. Because I've implemented it and used it, and then I've not. And I completely, like I said, that whole relief feeling that goes away, it comes back when you don't use it, when you're like scrambling and like, oh my gosh, I have to do this and I have to do that. When you just follow this, it's pretty rad. So you color code each bucket, right? And so for me, I did, my personal business was pink, my family time was blue, my personal me time was teal, my house time was yellow, and my Beachbody business, like the team stuff, was green. And so you want to allot, we have 10 minutes, but an amount of time per day for each bucket, right? So you want to put times on everything and you want to stick to it. It's okay to cut it up. It's like I said, you know how Abby's look like big blocks and chunks and she put it every day. It's okay to cut it up like mine was, if that's something that works easier for your brain to understand, or works easier in your schedule. It's okay to chop it up, because you saw like my work time is like in 3 sections of the day, but it's still blocked out, and I'm going to be intentional. And that's the whole point, is to be very intentional with this time. So when I get off of this, you guys, it's my family time, and I will shut everything off. You're not going to see a post from me. You're not going to see anything from me. I'm going to go down and we're going to veg on Netflix. And that's what we do at night. And that's our thing. And then after we're done with that and the kids go to bed, I'm going to get back up, and then I'll be working from 9 to 11 or till whatever time I need to, you know, maybe 9 to, sometimes my eyes bleed and it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, but that's, you know, when stuff that needs to be done, it needs to be done. But following those buckets will give you a huge, huge, huge relief, because you're literally saying, I'm only doing these things during these times. So if you want me to like re-screen share my, like what it looks like, does anyone have questions or need to see my thing again? I'm very specific in the, like I said, when I set up each thing, and it takes about an hour. Once you get into Google, the Google Calendar, it takes about an hour for you to complete it. So make sure, you know, you set aside that to be mentally prepared. It's not as easy as just dropping everything in, because then you start thinking like, oh, I need to rearrange this. Like even today, preparing for this call, I rearranged my schedule because a lot of like things have changed, and things will change for you. So don't feel like you're stuck to this. If it's not feeling good and you put things in a different order and need to rearrange them, just fix them. It's really easy to move the things around in your calendar and just reset the event, and it'll keep going. But it's really cool because you get the alarms every day, and it tells you do this, do that. Like I said, you print it out and you know what you're supposed to be doing next, and you can put a timer on yourself for that hour that you have. You know, I give myself, 45 minutes in the morning to do those certain tasks, like to do a post and do, follow up with messages from the night before, and, just a few little tasks that I can knock out quick in the morning before we go to school. Like I can do that early, right? So if that doesn't feel good, or if it's too rushed and it crams your morning, I can easily just take that out and just do it at night. It's no big deal, so be flexible with yourself, give yourself grace with it. But once you set something, be intentional in following it, but still don't feel like it's has to be perfect at first because it's going to feel weird. Like it feels really strange at first because you're not used to following something so strictly. But once you do, I promise you guys, it's very freeing. It's like so freeing to be like, I don't have to do anything else right now. Like I don't have to answer these messages. You know, I have, yes, like it's 20 messages coming on Facebook, but that's not my time to answer them. Oh, well, you know what I mean? I'm not doing it till 9 o'clock tonight. Too bad. People can wait. Don't allow people to dictate your time. You're the pilot of your time. No one else is the pilot of your time. You are, you know, so don't allow people and these things and all these outside influences to tell you that you have to, you know, they're creating a sense of urgency for you. Don't let that happen. Say, no, this is the time that I'm going to do this. And this is the time. These are the expectations that I'm putting out there, you know, so you need to follow them or just don't. And that's it. It's really, like I said, it's very liberating to be able to like just shut everything down, focus on certain things, and that's it. So do you guys have questions? Do you want to see my calendar again? I can actually bring up the actual calendar if you want to see it. We have like about 6 minutes left, if that's helpful for you guys. Was that good?
Yeah.
Will work?
Can we see your calendar again?
Yeah. Yes, you may. Let me make sure I'm logged in. So do you guys generally, did you write down what your buckets, what you think that they're going to be?
Yes.
Okay. So here's this, and let me just do a screen share real quick. And this one. Okay, can you guys see this?
Mm-hmm.
So this is like my actual schedule. So like, let me just open this so you can see what it says in there. But so in this time from 5:15 to 5:55, so it's like 40 minutes, I post on personal page. That's my first post, right? Like it should take no more than 5 minutes because if you pre-plan your posts, even if you just pick a quote in the morning that you're just going to post every morning, it's really easy. If you spend tonight, you guys, 30 minutes, it doesn't even take that long, but just look up motivational quotes or whatever topic you're thinking. Like right now I'm on mindset for my group, challenge group. So I'm putting mindset everywhere. That's on my Instagram. That's on Facebook. That's like, I'm talking about mindset everywhere. And you could just recycle the same post. You don't have to put different stuff everywhere. Use the same thing and post it everywhere. It should take no more than 5 minutes in the morning. I post in my challenge group, which is easy because if I shouldn't even have to do it if I'm using the post scheduler. And then I have a Christian moms group. I have an Oceanside moms group. So I post in all of those groups, post in my tracker app if I need to, like if that's something different. For me right now, these are old, but you know, we have like the mastermind group tomorrow. That's like, we're going to need something to post in there. And then I can send 5 quick invites and reply to any old, messages that came in from yesterday. So in 45 minutes, I should be able to do all of those, like just knock those out really quickly. And then that's it. So that's my personal work. I'm not working again until, and that's not even really considered work, but National Wake Up Call, I have that in here. That's part of my business, right? So I have that in pink. And that's tomorrow. And I listen to that on the way. I just plug in my earphones and I listen to that on the way while I'm dropping off the kids. And when I'm driving back, I listen to personal development. So I knock that out all in a car ride, like in an hour. And then I come home. On Mondays, I work out in the morning. Usually, like tonight, I worked out at night, but usually I work out at night. So on Mondays, I work out in the morning. I come home and I'll do my workout. Then I'll get showered and dressed. And then Bible study and prayer time, and then I'll clean the house. But I specifically put times on it. So from 11 to 1, that's what I'm doing. From my Bible study and prayer time is 10:15 to 11, so that I can really set timers and I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing during that time only, and then I move on to the next thing. And it feels really good knowing that you've checked these things off of the list and that you've done the things that are important to your life right now, and you're not spending time, swimming, feeling like there's all this stuff that you should be doing because it's really important to your life and you're not getting it done. And for me, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm failing when I'm not doing the things that I should be doing. but this, you've clearly written it out for yourself. And so, like I said, you're free to, for me, the weekends, Saturday is like, I don't know if you guys can see this over here. This is like my day off. So I will only really post personal stuff. I will do a little bit of work, obviously post in a challenge group or check in with somebody who needs it or whatever, something like that. But that's generally my day off. I don't really do anything but post on social media on Saturday. Sunday, it's pretty much a day off too, but I do a little bit more like prep work, like for these calls, and like I'm setting up posts and stuff. I'll post tonight. I'm setting stuff up for tomorrow. So that's more of a work day. My only day off is Saturday, where I really just don't do anything. And it's okay to take that day off. It's okay to not do anything and, be a free bird and not follow any kind of list like Jess did last night. It's that you guys need that decompression time to like relax. So we only have a minute left. Does this help you guys at all? And if you need to see this again, I can post like a copy of mine and a copy of Abby's on the team page so you can look. If you have questions or you need help putting yours together, please ask us and we can help you like rearrange it or, kind of figure out what the priorities should be. But like I said, even for me, my kids and their homework and study time, like that's what I needed to put in there tonight. It's like extra stuff that they just started doing. My day looked a lot different. And my priorities have changed after talking to my husband. He asked me to do certain things in a certain order. And so I had to rearrange my whole schedule, so just be conscious of what's important to your life right now and schedule it that way. And you'll get the things done in that amount of time when you're intentional, and you'll feel really, really good about it, about what you're doing and how you're spending your time every day. Is that helpful? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Well, I just wanted to say thank you guys for spending your evening with me on Sunday. I know you guys have a lot going on, and I hope this was helpful. We really want you guys to succeed. And so these are tools that we like to share with you guys because they work for us. And we don't want it to be overwhelming. Like I said, I know coming into a new business like this, it can feel really overwhelming. It can feel like a lot. And it still does sometimes. I won't lie to you guys and say it doesn't. Like